Hello, everyone, and welcome to Personal Growth Stories, the silence behind my smile. My name is Denise, and today I want to share my story. For many years, people saw me smiling and thought everything is okay. They saw me working, studying, and taking care of my son. What they did not see were the difficult moments, the sadness, and the battles I was fighting inside. This episode is called The Silence Behind My Smile because many people carry pain that others cannot see. I hope that by sharing my story, someone listening will feel less alone and understand that even after very hard times, life can get better. I am 24 years old and soon I will be 25. From the day I was born until I was about 12 years old, I lived with my grandmother and my aunt. My grandmother was one of the most important person in my life. She gave me love, support, and everything I needed to grow up. I will always be thankful for her. Even though I was loved, I often feel that something was missing. My parents were rarely around, and as I got older, I start noticing that absence more and more. I wanted to spend time them and feel like part of a complete family. Those feelings stayed with me for many years. When I was around 12 years old, I started feeling very lonely. I loved my grandmother, really, I love it, but I wanted my parents in my life too. I didn't not know how to express my emotions, and I felt confused most of the time. I wanted people to understand how much I was hurting, but I did not know who to ask for help. During that time, I started hurting myself. At first, it felt like a way to escape my emotion pain, but it only made things worse. When my parents found out what was happening, I moved in with them. I hoped everything would change, but I still carried a lot of sadness and anger inside me. When I was 14 years old, something happened that changed my life. A swimming teacher tried to abuse me. I was very young and I didn't know how to process what had happened. I feel scared, confused, and ashamed. For a long time, I kept those feelings to myself because I didn't know who to talk about them. After that experience, I found it difficult to trust people. I became more distant and spent a lot of time feeling sad. Looking back, I understand that this moment affected my health deeply and become one of the reasons I struggled so much during my teenage years. Around that same time, I started working. Most teenagers were spending time with friends, enjoying school, and thinking about their future. I was learning responsibilities at a very young age. Working helped me become independent, but it also forced me to grow up quickly. I feel like I had to be strong all the time. Inside, I was still carrying pain and confusion, but I tried to hide it. I believed that if I stayed peace enough, my problems would disappear. Instead, I become someone who smiled on the outside while having a hard time on the inside. When I was 16 years old, I met a man who was 11 years older than me. At that age, I thought I was in love. I believed he cared about me and understood me. Looking back now, I realize I was very young and searching for love, attention, and stability. The relationship became serious, and for a while, I believed I had found the person who would make everything better. That was not what happened. Little by little, the relationship became unhealthy. Things that seemed normal at first slowly turning into situations that caused me pain and affected my confidence. For several years, I believed in a relationship filled with emotional abuse and difficult situations. Little by little, I stopped believing in myself. I felt trapped and alone. Money was often a problem. My son's health worried me, and I was trying to study at the same time. I started two different university programs, but I could not finish them. Every time I left school, I feel like a failure. I thought I was failing as a mother, as a student, and as a person. Looking back now and can see that I was carrying more responsibility and pain that anyone should have to carry alone. By the end of 2021, I feel completely exhausted. I had been living with emotional pain for years and I no longer who to handle it. In December, I attempted to take my own life. After that, I spent a month in a hospital. Christmas came while I was there. I remember feeling very alone, but I also remember a short phone call from my family that meant a lot to me. Even after leaving the hospital, things were still difficult. I had more crises during the following months. Those were some of the darkest moments of my life and the time I could not imagine a better future. In October 2025, after a long day of work and university, someone tried to rob me and also tried to abuse me. After that experience, many painful feelings returned. I cried often, became angry easily, and had trouble sleeping for a while. Felt like I was losing the progress I had made, but this time I made a different choice. In January 2026, I decided to seek professional help. That decision changed my life. Today I feel stronger than I have felt in years. I am close to finishing my engineering degree and I am completing my internship as a continuous improvement engineer at Safran. My son will also graduate this year and seeing him grow makes me proud every day. My life is not perfect and I still have challenge, but now I have hope. If there is one thing I want people to remember from my story, it is It is this. Your story is not over no matter how difficult life becomes. Things can change, keep going, keep fighting, and never be afraid to ask for help.